Trade Genius.
Hey guys, how's it going? Philip with Trade Genius. Okay, so some crypto weakness today. I'm doing an evening update, May 10th, about 9:30 Eastern time. So there was some news that came out about Nvidia seeing softer than expected mining demand for their chipsets, their hardware, and there was some talk that this was contributing to the pullback on the market in crypto. Also, there was some Mt. Gox funds that were transferred around, both of which I find that could be a catalyst for a start of a move. But I don't think that that's anything really to be. First of all, the Nvidia thing on the chips and the mining demand. I mean, that's just one sliver of the mining universe. I'm not really. That's kind of funny. I don't really put much meat into that. As far as the Mt. Gox funds that are locked up, remember that video we did a while back? I showed you guys how you can sign up and get notified when those funds move out of those wallets. The lawyer in Japan, who's basically the trustee for those funds, basically stated that he was going to be smart about future disbursements and look to sell those in block sizes over the counter, meaning that he was going to find somebody off exchanges to buy the remaining Bitcoin that was locked up in the trustee's control for liquidation purposes. Most of the funds have been repaid in dollar terms, and I think they were trying to sort out exactly what to do with the rest of the Bitcoin, whether to disperse that to the creditors or just liquidate them over the counter and disperse the funds that way. So both of those news items I don't think warranted any kind of sell-off or anything like that. Mostly what we are looking at is some more pullback from this attack on the 200-day moving average. So basically what we have here is this fib buy zone still in this area here around 8,000. So we could in effect come back and pull back to that 8,000 area. Although to be honest, we have some support. And here, let's put a horizontal line here, right about the 83.55 level. And we're also sitting on this area of support here, but this could pull back further all the way back to this 8400 level. So just be prepared for that. Now, one thing Bitcoin's doing that when we got down to these levels, I said we probably need to see is a large, longer term consolidation. And that's what we're getting still. And one thing, if you notice, like with Ethereum, we were in this pattern and all of a sudden it just blew up and out. And most likely that's what's going to happen here. Now, if we if we do come back and pull back to this level, this will be key, because one thing that's pretty powerful is when you get into these consolidation patterns or even a price channel or like this pennant, when you get a mid-channel reversal, so you come down mid-channel and then bounce up, watch for that, because a lot of times that's going to indicate that this is going to break out and run higher. So if we get that reversal back up to this trend line, then where this moving average is, which will probably be somewhere in here, I expect that to be broken. Once that 200-day moving average breaks, then we're looking at 11,700. So this is definitely a possibility where this plays out here, boom, off this 8,400 level essentially, and then higher. Basically, that would be probably the next high probability spot for a buy. But we'll have to see the price action as we head into that. But that's definitely in the cards, guys. If we break, that's on the daily view, guys. So let's look at the 4-hour and 4-hour, kind of an head and shoulders actually here. So you've got the right shoulder here, the head, and the left shoulder, head, and right shoulder. So the way we would look at this is your neckline, which is about to be broken. So you really, if you're bullish, you kind of want, you're looking at this 8,900, 9,000 level to hold, really. Okay, if that doesn't hold, then this breaks down. And then what we're looking at is this, let's pull up a price range. Okay, so you're essentially looking at this here. So if it breaks, then what you're doing, you're looking at this measured move here, this neckline to head. And that's how we measure these. And that would take us down to about 8,000. if that were to play out as a full measured move on that. That's actually even lower than where I see support, though I'm hesitant to. I think this 8400 is probably a more probable area for a bounce. But on the 4-hour chart, just so you guys know, that is a bearish formation setting up here. So this is an interesting level here. If this 8900 breaks down, then I think next up is going to be that 8500 level. And if we look on the hourly chart, now this is where you can get some of your quick swings, and on the linear regression, you'll see how we're poking our head out of it. And when you do that, the aggressive play would be to buy here for a bounce, but you may not get much of a bounce. But if you are going to swing and be aggressive with your stops, this actually would be a spot where you try to take a swing long and possibly eke out $100 to $200 of a move. You're going to run into resistance though here at around the 9,000 to 9,100 level on a move like that. So that's like your really short-term view. Otherwise, I think the bears are definitely in control here. And especially if you were able to get a bounce up into this, say 9,200, this 9,240, 9,250 area, I would expect to see the bears come in and try to hit it again. So there's your short-term look. So bearish immediately, but I think it's setting up where we're still long-term putting in a base, consolidating, and as we head into summer, this thing is going to boogie higher. Real quick before we go, we'll look at the correlation of the alts. Alts were doing pretty well on the 5-day chart, but then they pulled back. And so the way you read this is this kind of shows you the correlation to Bitcoin with the alts. However, when the alts are negative, whether it's -1 or -8 like we have here, it means you're better off in Bitcoin. Now, this is a basket. There are some alts that are doing individually better against Bitcoin, but this tells you that there's really no inverse correlation. They're correlated, but they're just weaker across the board. So if you're trying to swing long on the alts right now, you need to ratchet down your targets, because right now the bounces just aren't being sustained. So again, you can see that on the 24-hour chart and on the 8-hour chart, although we are getting a little bit of a bounce from that knee-jerk sell-off. So really this comes down to whether or not this support level holds across the board in crypto land. Was that just a technical move or somebody trying to push the market down and see if they could get it to drop down to another technical level lower and buy it back up? Right now we're seeing a bounce off of these initial move, and so we'll see if that sustains. All right, guys, well, that's basically the look at the crypto space for now. Primarily looking at Bitcoin because, as you can see, things are kind of following along. Bitcoin's kind of leading everything by the nose right now, aside from a few of the alts that are actually bucking the trend and doing better. And we'll cover those in the next couple of days. So anyway, all right, guys, thanks for watching. Please hit like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next video. Take care.
Trade Genius.